New Jersey's decades-old ban on assault weapons and a more recent law banning large-capacity magazines are back in the legal spotlight today, with oral arguments underway before the full Third Circuit Court of Appeals. It's a major test of the state's gun laws being challenged by gun rights activists who say the restrictions violate the Second Amendment. Attorney General Matt Platkin is defending the bans just a day after his office secured another firearms-related court win. And he joins me now to talk about the case from just outside the federal courthouse in Philadelphia. Attorney General Matt Platkin, thanks for joining us. Let me ask you, what constitutional argument are you making in defense of these bans?
Well, this is a really critical case for the safety of all New Jerseyans. For 35 years, we've had an assault weapons ban and we've had bans on large capacity magazines, which keep the public safe and are entirely consistent with this nation's tradition of common sense regulations on firearms, as the Supreme Court has said, even in the wake of the Bruin decision from 2022, that we can continue to do. And every appeals court across the country that has considered this case or cases similar to this one has agreed with us. And these laws, these limitations on assault weapons, which are the weapon of choice for mass shooters, as well as large capacity magazines and many other efforts we've had in New Jersey, are a big reason why we've had the lowest number of shootings on record for now 3 years running.
The DOJ, though, I don't have to tell you, has also filed a brief against your position in this case. What's your response to their stance that AR-15s, high-capacity magazines, bans on those are protected under the Second Amendment?
Well, I think the clear history of this country, and that's why every court that's considered this has agreed with us, is that they're wrong. And for centuries, we have regulated unusually dangerous weapons. Assault weapons are undeniably unusually dangerous weapons. They are disproportionately the weapons used in mass shootings. They are the AR-15 was the weapon used in Newtown and Las Vegas and Pulse nightclub and in mass shootings across this nation. And there's a reason why New Jersey has one of the lowest levels of gun violence in the country. It's because we have strong common sense gun safety laws. It's because we have incredibly effective law enforcement efforts. It's because we've held gun manufacturers and retailers accountable when they break our laws. And so our comprehensive efforts have worked. And candidly, this Department of Justice doesn't have a great track record. We had to sue the federal government to prevent them from distributing 12,000 machine guns across the country, including into New Jersey. Machine guns, which are continue to be illegal under federal law, and which our opponents today conceded could not possibly be legal under this, or that could not possibly be legal even under their own arguments. And yet the federal government was trying to send 12,000 of them back out on our streets. And only after our lawsuit did they concede, oh, no, wait, we're not actually doing that. And they stopped. So I think we have to take this Department of Justice's positions when it comes to gun violence with a significant grain of salt.
You mentioned that courts across the country have been upholding cases like these. Your office recently had some legal successes as recently as yesterday in the case where a judge agreed to move forward with the case against the Glock switches, another more recent court victory upholding most of the state's laws banning guns in sensitive places. What does it all say to you about your positioning here and about the broader effort to protect gun rights in New Jersey?
Common sense gun safety efforts work. The case you just mentioned against Glock is one of the most significant, if not the most significant cases ever filed by attorneys general against a gun manufacturer. We are the lead state in that. We are proud to lead that suit. And that suit, like so many others, is saying when our legislature and governor pass common sense laws, companies that flout them and put our residents at risk don't get to just profit off of their illegal behavior. And so Glock has knowingly sold firearms into New Jersey and into many other states, but particularly into New Jersey, that can be converted with a piece of plastic the size of a Lego in just a matter of minutes into something as powerful as an M16 fully automatic military grade machine gun. And they have marketed it and allowed it to be marketed as such. It's been in rap videos touting this conversion ability. And so all we are saying is, you don't get to live in Austria and profit off bloodshed in New Jersey. And I'm proud that that case has proceeded. I'm proud that we have brought a number of important cases that have held bad actors in the firearms industry accountable, just like we hold bad actors in every industry accountable. And those suits, as well as the laws we were defending today, and again, the outstanding work of our law enforcement and our historic investment in community based responses to gun violence, are the reasons why you are 6 times more likely to be shot and killed in Mississippi and in New Jersey, and why about we have cut gun violence by over 50% when compared to the Christie administration, thanks to these efforts.
I want to get to just a couple of other quick things. A rare move. This case is being heard by the full bench. That includes the newest judge, President Trump's appointee, Emil Bovee. You have publicly criticized his fitness for this judgeship. How concerned are you about his process here, about his role in this case?
Look, Judge Bove's been confirmed to the Third Circuit. We respect his role as a judge, and he's one of a panel of judges who will hear this case. I think my comments were in respect to actions taken by the Department of Justice, which I continue to stand behind. And I think we only have to look just last week to the actions in the Eastern District of Virginia indicting Attorney General Tish James in New York. Apparently brought over the objection of every single career prosecutor who looked at the case, by an insurance lawyer who was installed by President Trump. Those are the types of things that I was concerned about what Judge Bovee did at the Department of Justice. I continue to be concerned about the erosion of the rule of law in this country. And that's something I think every American should be concerned about. If we allow the weaponization of a justice system to function in that way, then we no longer live in a democratic republic.
Very quickly, Senate President Nick Scuteri is now joining calls for oversight of the Office of Public Integrity and Accountability, which reports to you. He wants an independent monitor to oversee the work. Would you be open to that?
We'll respond. That's part of a litigation that has been filed against my office, which we believe to be baseless. So we will, and we will respond to that in court. And look, let me just say, I just talked about the indictment of Tish James. You could talk about the indictment of Jim Comey, Michael Bolton, the that is apparently coming. A series of erosions of our criminal justice system at the federal level. The Supreme Court making it harder, even before this, to prosecute corruption, even if the federal government wanted to. The idea that career prosecutors in the state attorney general's office, an office that was created by law in 1970 to specifically to hold accountable powerful individuals and organizations, including public corruption, that they shouldn't be allowed to exist or should be subject to political pressure, something that I think is completely out of step with what the country needs right now. And I'm confident will prevail in court. But I think the idea of putting pressure on prosecutors who are doing their jobs is deeply concerning.
Attorney General Matt Platkin, thank you for your time.
Thanks, Brianna.